when it comes to solving transformations of functions, um, given something like some of these problems here, I'm going to kind of go through it, just explain to you what it means. So, for instance, this minus 2 here, this is saying, since it's inside these parentheses, we move the parabola 2 units to the right. So 2 units right. And this plus 1 on the outside means we move everything up 1 unit. So up 1 unit. What we've done here is we've shifted the original parabola right and up while its shape has stayed the same. So on a graph, it would be something like the original one, and then our shifted one, right? So their shape is staying the same. We're just going to the right 2 and then up 1. For something like the second one here on this list, the 3 is on the outside of the square root, so it's multiplying the entire function output, not the input, right? So you're essentially looking at g of x equals 3 times f of x. So every y value of the original f of x gets tripled. This results in the graph stretching vertically. It gets taller and steeper. So there's no horizontal shift or stretch. It's just a vertical change. And what you would be looking at on a graph is, if this was the original, you would then be stretching it by a factor of 3. So again, original, and then are stretched, right? So we're stretching it. Yeah. For something like this, so we're kind of getting the idea here, where it's what happens to the x. Is it kind of like directly affecting the x, or is it happening on the outside of it, right? I mean, it's kind of like how you can look at it. So the 5 at plus 5 moves the graph left 5 units. And the minus 2 is going to move it down 2 units. Right, so on a graph, I'm going to do it over here. Make it kind of smaller, but on the graph here, you're looking at something like it's a little hard to draw. But you'd be looking at something like that as the original, and then our shifted would be something like that. So to the left 5 and down 2. Now for this one, what you're doing here is, so however you want to start, that +1, what's going to happen? Exactly. It's going to move it to the left 1 unit. So this 1/2 is going to make it vertically flatter. So vertical shrink by 1/2 and the shift left 1. So on a graph, you're kind of looking at something like this. Let's say this is our original. This is our shifted. So kind of like that. For this one, number 5, this is the +1 once again. So the +1 is moving it to the left 1 unit, and that 2 in front of it is doubling every y value, so it stretches vertically. So it's a vertical stretch by a factor of 2 and a horizontal shift left 1 unit. Graphically, you're looking at something like this. That's not it. I thought it would work. You're looking at something like this and shifting. Don't look at that as it's getting narrower. It's not what's going on. It's like that. It's not getting narrower. I just try to line it up, and I just did pretty bad. But that's just, it's stretching by a factor of 2, and it's moving to the left 1. It's getting a little thinner. I mean, stretching. Yeah. Okay.